I'm Brant. This is Firekeeper Recovery. I'm here with,
Bumper Smith.
and we're here on Memorial Day, enjoying this beautiful sun out here in the Great Smoky Mountains, and want to talk a little recovery with you today. But we just want to check in, and I wasn't here last week, and why we didn't have a podcast because I was a little under the weather, and yeah, I just wasn't my best. So yeah, I didn't want to get you sick either. So.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
So it's just best to take a week off and then get back at it this week.
Yep. Recoup.
Yeah. That's about all I did. How about you? What, did you have a good 2 weeks?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, our program's, it's moving along pretty well. I'm so happy for it and excited about it. Work, being at home, and spending time with my youngins. I mean, the adulting stuff. Paying bills, buying groceries, doing lawn. All that stuff. That's what life is now. It's what it's been for a little while, but I've settled into it pretty good, and I wouldn't want to be doing anything else.
Right. That's why like days like today are the ones that are tough for you. When you're by yourself.
Yeah. I mean, we're off today because it's a holiday, so yeah. I have to whittle on more sticks.
Yeah. Yep, that self time and occupying your own mind is the hardest part for me, even though it's what I do a lot of times. Is getting stuck in like one thought that is spiral, and that can get easy, especially on like a long weekend.
Yeah.
Because routine gets busted up, and that extra day can mess with your head if you're not careful.
Yeah. It's probably best to if you know you got an extra day coming up, even just vaguely planning stuff to do with it.
Yeah.
Me, anytime I got some downtime, I either catch up on house chores or just as dumb as it could might seem to people, just carving off little curls of wood, with a knife, just I guess it's just the repetition of it, and it's kind of like when you go for a hike or you go for a walk, it's something that's positive and it's pleasurable to you, and it can help clear your mind and just take the edge off, and it's keeps my hands idle and my mind idle because I've got to focus. If not, I'll cut my fingers up again.
Right.
I've done that.
That's probably the same reason people fish and just don't have to catch nothing. They're just sitting there. It's a meditation. Probably it's like breathing, and you're just concentrating. It's all probably a meditation too.
Yeah, it's that positive, healthy distraction.
Yeah. If I'm trying to find me something like that right now. Because usually whenever my mind gets busy or I don't have like a thing I do, I usually put more stuff into it. So like music, that's what I use for to clear my head, like music or a podcast to laugh at something funny, and that laugh and a joke it, or it make me start thinking about funny stuff or something. So yeah, I need to find me something physical because I did used to have like a stress ball or whatever, stuff like that I've just lost over the years now.
What about art? You do any painting, drawing, sketching? I thought about wood carving, but
yeah,
I
wish I could draw. I'd like to doodle, but yeah, you're right. I should get back to writing. That's probably my physical thing. Yeah, I can put pen to paper, concentrate on the words. And it probably would help control my mind.
Find your muse.
Yeah. Yeah, and I hadn't wrote in a while because for me, like, writing is more creative, so, like, doing these videos is more me, so it's not, like, a creative thing, like, where I'm using my imagination. So that's where I like to write, is when I can let my imagination go wild. So, like, this is real, or, like, real life, so I'm trying to, like, just be in my head and be in the memories and the me. So yeah, maybe I need to put them both together.
Yeah,
Write myself down.
that'd be
See if
good.
that helps.
So we got the, graduating class. Cherokee's graduating class. I guess Swain and
Yeah,
Smoky
Swain,
Mountain and
Smoke Mountain coming up this week, next
you know,
week.
all of these youngsters, growing up, and a lot of people that I'm friends with on Facebook are posting their pictures of, their kids in their cap and gown and graduation ceremonies. And the kids, a lot of them have plans to go off to further education and stuff. And I think that's really awesome. I think it's a great thing. These are future leaders of our people. And the parents seem to have done a really wonderful job in raising up this next generation of natives. And man, it makes me hopeful for us as a people and here on the res, seeing as how I'm getting older. So have good, strong-headed, intelligent, bright, talented people leading the charge while we're on our way out.
And like when the numbers, 105, 100 something kids graduated just from Cherokee.
Really?
My class, which
That's
was
awesome.
one of the biggest at the time, in '99 was like 54, 58, something like that.
So it's doubled since then.
Yep, and that's in 24, 25 years. And then a lot of them have commitments to go to college
Yeah.
or further or do stuff. And I could probably count on two hands people that were going to college.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's just to see how far the education is, how people are taking advantage of it more.
Yeah.
It's good to see, but it also comes with other issues, I guess, that maybe they didn't have in the past, or being away from here, and then maybe some of them are dealing with being away from the res for the first time. So
Yeah, for an extended period.
yeah,
Yeah.
but they'll have to live with other cultures, and you're like, well, they're gonna be in for a culture shock because just going to Western is pretty eye-opening if you've never been around like just other races. Because Cherokee, we see some now more than probably we did when we was growing up.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, up there you're gonna see everything. Just the world up there.
I think that's for a young person. I think it can be a really enriching experience, getting to interact and make friends with people from other backgrounds and cultures and other races. One thing that I'm grateful for is all the summers I spent working in between high school, and even after I got out of high school, working at the old Dairy Queen, and they'd always have like foreign exchange students come in every summer. They would be like, at first it was like people from all over, in that summer, and then it eventually became like just like a lump of one group of people coming. But either way, it was really awesome. I mean, I think it helped broaden my worldview and helped me to become more inclusive and tolerant. I was always pretty tolerant anyway, but just getting to be friends with people, and I'd ask them questions and stuff, and just because I wanted to know,
Yeah,
just wanted to learn.
that's just one of the things I was just. All that is to say, for some of us on the res, we have been sheltered, so just don't be afraid to experience all these things when you go out there.
Yeah, and
Don't
definitely.
stay in your room. Don't just go to class.
Yeah,
Try to experience something new, and just know that we're more like with all these other people than we are different.
that's right.
It's them little DNA things down there, that 3% or whatever they say it is, that makes us different.
Yeah, even if you look at cultural or national differences, I mean, those are, I don't know, they're not really that significant, as far as what makes us different. I mean, if you talk with somebody from a different country or a different place, they grew up, they were, with a family and have cousins and have family dinners and spent the same holidays or maybe different holidays nonetheless, you know. So
Yeah.
there are far more similarities with other people than there are differences, and the differences are kind of not really that significant.
Yeah. And one other thing about going off to school too is that is where you do find new experiences, new drugs. And that's where you might experiment for the first time if you haven't
Yeah,
done that yet. So I'm not saying don't do it, just be weary. It's a different time.
yeah.
And test your drugs if that's what you're gonna do.
Another thing, like if you're going to like any parties anywhere, especially if you're a girl, you know, a young lady, if you're going to have a drink, don't drink anything that you didn't pour or mix or get yourself. You know, there's a lot of, you know, unfortunately, it's, you know, the world we live in. A lot of people will put shit in your drink. You know, you never know it. You know, either thinking it's, you know, it's going to be funny, or somebody, you know, trying to do something really nefarious. You know,
Or
so
it could be just a friend that's like, you need to loosen up. Just think you're gonna give you a little bit, but
yeah,
then
yeah. The next thing you know, you're like out of it, and then
yeah,
some creepy bastards are going to be taking advantage of you. So yeah, I've heard there's like a fingernail polish that women can wear. You know, you dip in your drink, and if it's spiked, then it'll change colors. So
yeah, science.
you know, yeah,
So just protect yourself, know your surroundings. That's
be
a good.
aware.
That's a good thing as you start getting into adult life is to get to know yourself a little better. You won't know who you are all the way, but it's good to know who you are now. So you know yourself when you start to see them changes in yourself, when you know that I'm doing things that I usually wouldn't have did because it's because of a situation or a party or just bad decisions that's going to lead you down a whole different path. It starts with them little ones at the beginning.
Yeah,
And then 20 years later, you're like, man, I guess I shouldn't have quit school
yeah, yeah,
because I wanted to drink all weekend. That was a long 20-year weekend.
yeah. And peer pressure. You know, I mean, there'd been a handful of times that I could say that I gave in to peer pressure, and then I always regretted it. So I made it up in my own mind. Like, I don't care how much peer pressure I get. If somebody calls me whatever names they're going to call me or what kind of shit they're going to talk, you know, I'm not going to do anything I don't want to do. I don't give a damn who's calling me names or who thinks I'm not cool. It's cooler to be in control of yourself and to be your best self. I mean, that's what's cool. I mean, you know, hit them books hard, you know, make use of your higher education, you know, and you know, maybe all the people that told you weren't cool because you weren't out doing things that they were doing, you know, you'll look back and see that, you know, you knew what you were doing and you were cool the whole time anyway because you didn't follow the herd.
Yeah. And that's the lucky ones get to do all this stuff. The ones that don't have any responsibilities out of high school. 'Cause there's a few that might not get to go do college right now because they might have kids to take care of already. So
Yeah.
for those, man, it's not over.
No.
It's just you got a different set of circumstances than everybody else.
Yeah.
And I know plenty of people that I went to school with had a baby at 15. Now he's got the biggest house on the hill I live on.
Right.
And family has a great job and like all the things everybody would be big cars and all that stuff and same age as me, had a
Yeah.
baby at 15 and look at me, I didn't have a baby. So who knows, maybe having the baby in high school is the secret if you don't want to be a loser like myself. I'm like myself. Or I was going to do this anyway. So if I'd had a baby, I would just had a baby down here with me.
Right.
Who knows? We can't know. So why fret about it, I
Yeah.
guess.
The future's not set, you know, no matter what an individual's circumstances at present might be. you can always make the best choices and the right choices for you to improve your situation, or even if it takes time, if it don't line up with the timeline you have in your mind, that's okay. But just know that if you keeping at it, set
Right.
your goals, knock them out one by one, keep doing what you're doing, and you will finally the results, the fruits of your labor will soon bloom, and then like you said, something that might have been possibly an obstacle for you early on, you turn it into something that was
That's your
became an
fuel.
obstacle. Yeah,
Because the
absolutely.
sooner that baby you had at 15 instead of a burden when you're 22 working. Like, why am I working this 40-hour job? That's what keeps you going.
Yeah,
I gotta keep working.
yeah.
So yeah, it's all about how you look at it sometimes.
And going to college for something that you're interested in, that you want to do whenever you graduate and get your degree. If you want to come back home to Cherokee and live and have a career, when it's something that you're passionate about, it don't feel like a job. And so the usual stresses of having a job you hate aren't there, because you don't mind, getting up early and being on point with your routine and what you got to do for that day, because it's a passion instead of some hassle. Like jobs I've had before, like, man, I would just wake up in the shittiest mood every day, be like, man, I gotta go in here and be here and do this and whatnot. But I got bills, so I got money. I gotta pay bills. I gotta have money to live, and
Right.
it just, it shows in your attitude at work and your work ethic and everything. It's just you're doing just enough to get by. But if it's something that really appeals to you and you're really passionate about it, you love it, then you're always going to be your best self, you know. And
Right.
that comes with accolades as well. You get recognition, you get promotions, you get bumped up, you get raises, stuff like that. So definitely, if I could give my younger self advice after I graduated high school, I would tell myself, like, look, make better grades in school, go to a college, even if it's somewhere close nearby, get a degree, have it, and then when you apply for a job, even if it's not something in the field that your degree is in, it's still going to help you and allow you to get your foot in the door, and have a job that pays well and benefits and all that good stuff. And then when maybe there's an opening in a field that you are really passionate about, you can transfer into that or move into that. It'll make things a lot smoother. I
Yeah.
was going to go to college, believe it or not. I was going to go to college, and I thought, man, I'm tired of school. I went to school for like 12 or 13 years, so I'm just gonna like take a year to just work and hang out with my buddies, and then it like stretched into like 25 years,
Yeah.
and so, but even though that's the case, I could go back to school, I could go get a degree and everything, and I don't think about it enough to realize that like at this age, I ain't got a whole hell of a lot of time left, and I need to make the most of every day, of every opportunity. So why aren't I? You know, because I could. I mean, I could work and go to school part time and be a dad and all that good stuff. It would be challenging, but I know I could do it.
Yeah.
If if I fought my way out of active addiction into long-term recovery, that's the hardest thing that I've had to do. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. It just was demanding in all those areas. So I know that transitioning from out of that into recovery, I know I could. There's nothing I couldn't do when I put my mind to it, and that's true for everybody. It
Yeah.
really is. It's true for everybody. It's just knowing what you want, setting your mind to it, and having goals and shit. There's resources available. There's help available.
Especially here for Turkey, you got so much resources that a lot of people don't take advantage of.
Yeah,
Maybe not even know about. So
it's definitely worth looking into. I mean,
yeah.
education-wise. I mean, for everything,
Yes,
anything and
education.
everything.
They'll pay for almost any education you want.
You'll get like
trade school.
yeah, you get bonuses for having good grades. I'm not sure, maybe attendance. I think they give you gas money too. I mean, they buy you a MacBook and pay for your books and shit. Everything's free. There's no reason why we aren't doing it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have excuses why I'm not doing it, but no real reasons why I'm not doing it. You know.
I don't want to do it right now.
I told myself that for like 20 years.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it right now. I'm good.
I don't need to do it right now. Is it a want or a need? I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
I got comfortable. That's what I'm trying to get out of now. Let me get uncomfortable.
And you know, and that can be whether you're talking about life in general or in recovery, like getting comfortable, like too comfortable, where it, you know, it becomes complacency. Like that can be a trap, dude. You know, you think I'm doing so good, I'm just on cruise control. You know, I'm on autopilot. You know, then maybe something happens and your mind starts to wander. And thought, man, I could dip my toe back in the pond. Shit, wouldn't nobody know. I could maintain. And that's the first lie that you tell yourself.
Yeah.
That's the first lie.
I'll be all right. Just, yeah.
Because if I were able to just dip my toe in the water, you know, then I would never have fallen into full-blown addiction and had to, you know, fight my way out of it. I'm glad that I had the resources and help that I did. The people in my life that helped me get here. Definitely grateful for them. But I mean, if I was the type of person that could just recreationally or every once in a while or on the weekends do whatever, you know,
we
wouldn't be where I, you know, wouldn't have had to go through the shit that I went through.
We'd still be working a pretty good job, just doing them on the weekend.
Yeah. So, and knowing that about myself, I know that, you know, 4.5 years in recovery, I'm not even. I know there's no way, like, even though drinking was never my thing, like, I'm not going to go have a beer or two, you know, I just am not. Is it legal for me to do so? Yeah. Is it even sociably acceptable? Yeah. I ain't going to do it because that's just, you know, it's another way for that, you know, that addiction to creep back in, you know. It comes with subtleties and lies.
We had a drink last week.
Yeah. Like you can get a buzz, man. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
You know, the next thing you know, you get a DUI or even worse, you know, like, you know, being in a car wreck and hurting somebody or yourself.
And drinking wasn't never your thing there.
Yeah.
I'm not alcoholic.
Yeah.
I was on the needle.
Yeah, like.
Well, that dead kid over there don't know the difference.
Right. So if you're, it's real. You got to be real careful if you're in recovery about things like that. Just because it wasn't my substance of choice, yeah, probably the only ones that wasn't.
Yeah.
You know, just because it wasn't doesn't mean that it's smart or safe for me to dabble with it, to put my toe in that pond. You know, because I know that I'm not the type of person that can just do it sociably or anything like that. It's got to be wide open and you know, to the abyss, you know, and that's, I don't want to go there ever again, no more.
Yeah.
So I'm not even
entertained.
No.
Put yourself in the situation.
Yeah. So as for me, it's just, I'm good where I'm at.
Right.
Life is good, man. Life is so good, and I'm so grateful for everything, man. Just, it's hot out here, but I'm grateful for it, you know. Be hanging out with you doing this podcast. I'm grateful for it. When I bump into other people that are doing well in their recovery, whether they're at the beginning or, you know, going along in sustained recovery, and I'm grateful to see them and you know, be a part of the recovery community. I'm grateful for the work that I do and the things that I've accomplished. You know, and it's the people in my life that have supported me, and I'm just eat up with gratitude, you know.
And it just, like, you can't show them enough. That's like one of the hardest parts. You wish you could tell them how much it meant that they supported you, but you really can't.
Yeah.
So you can just show them how you can. That's,
Even something as kind of simple as seeing the same faces in the same groups regularly, was enough of a means of support, for me. Like seeing you and a lot of other people in there that were
yeah,
like,
there was like a core that we
yeah,
started.
and like Jeremiah and Brandy and all the bunch of other guys,
Yeah.
and
That are still doing their thing.
also, shout out to the couples in recovery that stuck it out and are in recovery together and living their best life now, man. Shout out to all you people. I mean, you guys are a great inspiration. It's I got a lot of admiration and respect for those guys.
Yeah, it's rough out there.
Yeah, to stay together and accomplish what they've accomplished, man.
People want to get into one of those.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It is like that's one of the things I'm going by now is my cup is not half empty or half full. I'm just happy I have a cup.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's all the people in group that I go to, and you, like when we go up here to the family cookout, that's what fills my cup, and that'll keep my cup full until I can fill it up with whatever else helps me keep it going.
Like recovery is your cup, and it gets fuller by what you put into your recovery capital. I guess like all the resources, and even your own accomplishments and whatnot. You fill it up with doing, accomplishing your own goals and helping other people. Whether it's just talking with them or listening to them or whatever it is. As you fill your cup with good things.
It won't be like a spit cup if you drink out of it. That's why I was a dictionary where we was filling it up with skull and spit, and then we just drank it.
I haven't done that in years. I had a cousin who used to dip skull all the time. He'd drink like half a can of Coke and like we spitting in it. And I remember I took a big swig of it one time because I thought it was mine, and I had it in my mouth and was like, spit it out. And I knew just from the difference in consistency.
It was here.
It was like grainy and shit. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't swallow that shit.
Yeah.
I spit it out. So after that, I would like turn my tab a certain way, or would like smell the can, drink a can of like soda or even beer with like cigarette butts and shit in it.
Yeah.
Nastiness. See, in recovery, you ain't got to worry about shit like that.
No. You still might burn yourself there. Burn your pants.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just gotta stop smoking altogether.
Yeah, I've quit cigarettes. I've been quit for like a year and a half, maybe longer, but these little bastards just slid right in and took up the role.
I got I'm half toothpick, so that tells me I don't have to smoke all the time. I have the toothpick, but it's got nicotine on it. So when I'm inside, that's what I have.
And I use nicotine pouches. Like,
the Zen?
Yeah, like when I have to be in court a lot and sitting around, and instead of having to get up and go outside and hit my vape, just take a nicotine pouch and get me by. I'll do that in group too.
Yeah, I think a lot of mine, I have a fucking thing where you need something in your mouth. What the fuck's it called? Oral fixation.
Yeah. It's hard not to be a cheap Indian right now.
Yeah, I know. I can see the wheels turn.
Supposedly Kojak, the reason he always had a lollipop was to break him from his smoking habit.
I believe it, because, yeah, it is like that motion.
The oral fixation is a real thing, though. I mean, you have that from the time you're a baby on up through your life.
That's why you, chew on shit.
Yeah. That's why babies, their first, I guess, experience with things is they always had to put it in their mouth.
Deep the fucking hole.
That's why they be getting into stuff, like put a handful of dirt in their mouth or something, or whatever,
Yeah.
Chewing on toys, it's just their brain's receiving that information, of like the textures and the tastes and this, that, and the other. But anyway.
Well, I mean, that takes me back. I chewed on shit. He-Man toys.
Yeah.
Best for chewing.
Chew their hands off.
Yeah.
Yep.
I chewed off every one of my He-Man toys, but they all,
I have like no fingers.
flat hands. Oh shit! All right. What the hell? That's good. I hope that helps anybody that needs it, or just anybody that's graduating just want to hear some old dudes talk.
Yep.
We're probably like uncles. We're uncle age.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
I'm
sure.
not an uncle. You're an uncle probably though.
Yes. I'm a great uncle actually.
Nah,
Yeah.
I could be an uncle, but I'm not. My cousins who are like sisters have kids. They're cousins, but I don't know. I guess it's just a name.
Yeah. Well,
Snoop Dogg calls everybody nephew, so he's everybody's uncle.
right. Well, having older role models in your life is a good thing, especially so when they're positive.
And that's how Indians be doing things. Auntie and uncle, that's something they've been doing lately.
Yeah.
That's why am I an uncle? That's just a label. Like I'm Brant. All right, but oh yeah, can anybody reach you anywhere, or do you want anybody to reach you? Social media, anything like that?
Well, not really on social media. Yeah. If you know anybody that involved in the EBCI justice system that needs support, you can contact our program, Sequo Donahma. It's 828-507-0541. That is my work number, available Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. If I don't answer, leave me a message, because usually I'll be in court.
Heck yeah. And you can find me on YouTube, Firekeeper Recovery. You can find us on Facebook, Brant Grant, Big Native BG under everything else. If you just want to, if you want to be on the show with us, you want to talk, hit us up at resliferecovery
That would be cool.
at gmail.com. We want more voices. We
Let's
want
start doing
everybody's
interviews.
voice. Yeah, you want to share your story with us?
Yeah.
Let us know. Reach out, resliferecovery at gmail.com.
All you skins that are doing well, need to share your story. You got insights that we don't have.
Right.
So they can always help somebody.
Yeah, that's why we're trying to grow the community, to show that there are people out here that are doing it. They're just doing it without a lot of fanfare.
Yeah.
It's not all on social media or whatever. I might be louder than a lot of other people, but I want to spotlight them.
There you go.
So yeah, thank you for watching. I'm Brant Grant.
Bumper Smith.
This has been Firekeeper Recovery, and remember, we'll keep the light on for you.